So you're new to house sitting and excited to get started. But should you apply to and accept house sits with no reviews? That's what we'll get into in today's video. By the end of the video, you'll definitely know the answer to that question. Stick around. I told you most of my house sits had no reviews. So when I first started house sitting, I really didn't know what I was doing or what I was really getting myself into. And a lot of the house sits that I accepted had no reviews. But what I do know how to do really well is read into the pet owner's personality. Like I can read their profile and really get a good idea of whether or not I should take the house sit based on how they write. I can tell a person's personality based on how they write. And so I'm going to show you an example of a house sitter, a pet owner that had no reviews on Trusted House Sitters, and I got a good feeling about what they wrote, and it turned out to be a really good situation. I'm also going to get into and show you an example of a bad house sit. Okay, I'll give you an example of a house sit that you should avoid at all costs. All right, so let's get into it. I'm Ronnie, an 8-year expat from the States, transitioning to a location independent lifestyle as a digital nomad. On this channel, we talk about all things travel, saving money, finding creative ways to make money, and living life on our own terms. I share what I've learned through my experiences and give information and inspiration to aspiring expats. Click subscribe and join the journey to freedom. All right, so now let's look at what I consider a good profile. Now, this person did not have any reviews on house sitters, trusted house sitters, but this is an example of what a good profile looks like. Okay, so this was their introduction. I am about to go on holiday to Europe for 2.5 weeks and require someone to come and house sit while I am away and look after my sweet little type of dog. I removed some information for privacy reasons. We live a fairly active lifestyle up in the blank area. So lots of fresh air and open spaces up here in the mountains. We live about an hour out of blank, and I travel to blank for work a couple of times a week. So getting into the city is not difficult if required. All right, so let's look at the responsibilities. What is this person looking for? Look after fur baby while I am away. Feed twice a day, walk at least once a day. There is a fantastic local dog park a couple of minutes drive away. Lots of love and cuddles. Look after the house and ensure that it stays clean and maintained. Boom. So this is what she's looking for. It's straightforward, it's simple, it's to the point. I can tell that she's excited to be in her area. She's very welcoming. Um, let's see, yeah, the way when she writes, lots of cuddles for her dog. There's not a lot of responsibilities, so that's good. So I can tell from this profile that this person loves their pet. I can tell that they have an upbeat and positive personality. And then what you want to do after you read the profile, of course, is you want to look at the pictures on the website, right? What type of pictures do they show? And she had really good pictures. I can really get a good sense of what the house looks like, the room where I would stay, bathroom, backyard. It looked very inviting and very just calm and beautiful. Okay, so the next step, of course, was I applied for that sit. She was impressed with my profile, and then we had a conversation. And what happened with the conversation was that the personality, her personality on the phone matched what I read, right? So the personality and the type of person I thought she was by her profile, it matched when we spoke on the phone. Okay, so it's important to look at the responsibilities, of course, when you're looking at a pet owner who has no reviews. It's very important to kind of read into what they write on the profile and to try to pick up, the type of personality they have. Okay, so with this particular pet owner, we did meet before the pet sit because she has a rescue dog, right? And she has the type of pet that doesn't warm up to people easily. So, needless to say, everything worked out, and I had a really enjoyable pet sit with her. And okay, so let's move on. Um, I'm going to show you how to avoid house sits from hell. Okay. All right, so here is an introduction of a pet sit that you should um, avoid like the plague. But let's check this out and let's look at where I see some red flags. All right, so this is another pet owner. I am a school teacher, and along with my husband, going on a holiday for 2 weeks starting June the 22nd until July 9th, when I will be back. I love to read and travel. Now, this is a red flag. I'm a teacher, and so is this other lady. She's a teacher too. And when I see a small I, as just in the start of a sentence, that's a red flag for me. But anyway, I'm not going to read all of this. I just want to kind of hit some key points. We have a 17 yo type of dog. So that's 17-year-old dog with special needs. Red flag, number one. This Trusted House Sitters is a site where, the point is to exchange accommodation for travel. It's about travel and accommodation. It's about the traveler and the person taking care of the pet being able to look at and explore the area while taking care of your pet, of the homeowner's pet, while they go and travel or what have you. It's an exchange. Okay. So when somebody writes and they want services for a 17-year-old dog with special needs, that's a red flag. Like, why are you on this site? Why are you not hiring someone who's a professional to take care of a pet that old and with special needs? Let's look into it some more. All right, so he suffers from arthritis and dementia. Okay. Because of his arthritis, his mobility is reduced in the sense that he has difficulty in getting up on his own, and he gets up from sleep or from lying or resting sitting position. We generally massage the muscles of his hind legs for a few minutes and support his rear while he takes the first few steps. Now, right there, that's enough for us to know that, first of all, she should not be posting this on this site. This pet needs special care. So she needs to go dig in her purse and actually pay a professional to take care of this pet. All right, so we're not going to read all of this. This is an example of a red flag. But silly me, sometimes I'm just goofy like that. And I saw the picture of the dog, and this person didn't live far from me, so I decided, well, maybe it wouldn't be too bad or what have you. So, so what happened? All right, so the story gets more stupid as it goes. So silly me, I put in an application, and of course she, accepted my application, and we did not talk on the phone. Another red flag. But I did give her my WhatsApp information. We exchanged numbers, and then there was more problems. Okay, so let's get into. So this is just the introduction. So let's get into what she wrote as far as the responsibilities for this pet sit. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. I am not about to read all of this, but you can get the picture. Oh, I forgot to remove the name. Anyway, so the dog is 17 years old. I didn't remove all this. Anyway, so it really doesn't matter. All right, so the dog's 17 years old. These are the response. He generally sleeps on our bed and gets up in the morning for a small business, then goes off to sleep again. There are days when he gets up around 9:30, 10:30. He likes to go for a walk immediately. Let's just, around noon, he likes to be fed, generally 10 food. Da, da, da. We're just going to keep going. He sleeps again in the afternoon around 3 or 4. Then he likes to go for a walk. Then around 5 or 6. This is like, a laundry list of what he does uh, hour by hour. So right here, this is telling me that this person is anal about this pet. Okay, like this is what this pet needs at this hour, at this time, at this hour, at this time. He needs this and that and that and that. And then again, she wrote, he suffers from arthritis. Last year, he has reduced mobility. When he wakes up or in a resting position too long, he gets stiffness. I mean, look, we're gonna cut it out right here. Okay, I should have known better than to ever apply for this position. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. So, let's just learn. I'm making this video so that you know what to avoid just straight up. I don't care how the house looks because sometimes you might look at a really beautiful house, and a little cute dog, even if he's older, you don't think that, it's going to be that bad. Listen, when you read a profile and the responsibilities look like this, run. Just don't even bother. I don't care what the house look like. I don't care how beautiful it is. Sometimes we can get sucked in, right? By pictures of a beautiful house or such a cute little dog. Don't get sucked in. This is what we really have to pay attention to as pet sitters, right? This is too much. This is a job for someone who's a professional who is paid to take care of this dog. So we see a laundry list of problems and responsibilities for an unpaid traveling house sitter. This makes no sense. All right, so let's see. All right, so again, I told you that I did apply just because, I saw that I don't know what I was doing. I was being stupid. The story gets more crazy, all right? It gets more stupid. So let's check this out. So after we exchange numbers, this lady decides, I'm just texting her. I sent her a message, whatever. Then she sent me a message in all caps and exclamation points. Now, here she is a teacher. Okay, so I'm assuming that she understands email etiquette or texting etiquette. I'm assuming that she knows never to write someone in all caps with exclamation points, because that's the equivalent of screaming to a person when you write to them that way. I'm assuming that as a teacher, she should know this. So anyway, the nonsense ends right here. I mean, I snapped out of it real quick and was like, okay, I'm dealing with a nutty nut, and she needs